Hey guys, Funky Fan Theories here, bringing you a Defenders theory. Now, of course, Defenders has only recently come out on Netflix, so if you haven't watched it yet, if you haven't watched the entire thing, all 8 episodes, then please do not watch this theory because I will be showing you spoilers. So, of course, that was a really cool TV show. I thought it got off to a really good season and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, let's bring you a theory that was uploaded on Reddit. So this one is by Reddit user Horrific SUV episode, and the link to it will be in the description. So it reads, the Defenders, Alexandra's superpower is to move her/its mind from body to body, and the idea that she actually moved her mind into Elektra, and that's why Elektra killed, spoiler, Alexandra. Anyway, let's go, because it was actually Alexandra. Alexandra is a very old being, with the power to transfer its essence into different human vessels. There are obvious hints to Alexandra's age and decadence throughout the series, including a scene where she comments intimately about composer Ludwig Van Beethoven's eminence to Johannes Brahms. This person loves using big words, and I can't pronounce half these names. Do apologise. Read along in the description if you want. Due to a mystery ailment, her character's condition worsens notably over the course of the show. Her medicine becomes more important, and she appears feebler with each episode. Alexandra knew its current vessel, while appealing in its own way and highly physically capable, was one of the last ones it could inhabit, and it had lived in that house for a very long time. A finite number of types of jumps is possible, where the Alexandra-self invades a new body, and in a desperate blades of glory, it's summoned up to the best of its will to move into and take over the black sky. Initially, she makes the move as a burnout sacrifice to herself to the Black Hand Syndicate. Alexandra was under enormous pressure from her peers to make the rising of Elektra's victory. Due to apparent defects in the reprogramming of zombie minds, there was a lot of hard evidence pointing towards the true failure of the experiment. That being said, the Elektra vehicle was ferocious and perhaps trained for just this purpose, to ultimately act as a fallback measure in the worst case scenario, a reverse body, and the best one possible. Of course, this extraordinary measure, the final transfer, was a thrust on the table and heroically selfishly seized by the Alexandra force. Near the end of the series, we see Alexandra transport her mind into Elektra's body in a strange forehead-to-forehead kiss. This begins the process. Elektra's behavior changes immediately after she discards the Sigourney Weaver shell, whatever. Contrary to the Valkyrie's shell-shocked and numble ways of her former self, she begins to express hatred and ambition. Along with these comes a growing disgust, which is particularly on display in her fight with Daredevil at the end. He keeps trying to appeal to her humanity, or who he once knew her to be, but that soul is long gone. She replies to his pleas with, "You know nothing. Your heart will be your downfall. I've never felt more whole, more alive than right now. I've seen death." This one can refer to both her reanimated Elektra and Alexandra. All of this sentiment comes from Elektra/Alexandra just before the final fatal implosion. She knows Daredevil is barking up the wrong tree, and that amuses her. The deception game of Alexandra Force takes another victim. In real fear of actual death, Alexandra so longs for a connection to someone in her final moments that she gives away a sure kill of her opponent to play out a burst of romance with him, playing out the most proper send-off imaginable for an ego which has survived countless lives as it bounces from frame to frame. Daredevil's entire concept of the exchange is ridiculous to the point of humiliation. So this is a pretty big theory, and it's basically saying that he's bringing up different scenes and stuff to suggest that actually the Elektra that we saw after that whole forehead-to-forehead kiss thing is actually no longer Elektra. It actually was Alexandra the entire time. And that the Alexandra who was murdered was essentially an empty vessel. obviously, because she was murdered by Elektra. I don't know about this theory. I think it probably is just Elektra who ended up murdering Alexandra, and that's it for Alexandra now. She's gone. But it's a nice theory anyway. I do like it, I guess, and I think it is interesting. I love the series overall. The stuff with the hand was really intriguing and interesting. Sorry that I'm not the best at pronouncing big words, but I think I did my best. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next video, guys. Goodbye.